China has been steadily increasing its stockpiles of key commodities, drawing global attention. This strategy goes beyond typical economic planning and reflects a deliberate effort to strengthen national security, ensure industrial stability, and gain geopolitical leverage. Energy, food, and industrial metals form the core of these reserves. By securing oil, natural gas, grains, and metals like nickel and rare earths, China safeguards its economy from global supply shocks and price volatility. Stockpiling is not merely reactive. It demonstrates long-term strategic foresight, allowing the country to anticipate potential crises caused by geopolitical tensions, trade disputes, or natural disasters. Infrastructure development supports this strategy. Advanced storage facilities, expanded domestic production, and efficient logistics networks show that stockpiling is a structured, ongoing policy rather than a temporary measure. China's commodity accumulation also influences global markets. Large-scale purchases can tighten supply, push prices higher, and affect decisions of manufacturers and investors worldwide. Experts argue that the strategy combines defensive preparation with proactive resource diplomacy, providing leverage in trade negotiations and international policy discussions. Domestic priorities are equally important, ensuring access to food, energy, and industrial metals contributes to social stability, a key concern for policymakers in Beijing. Overall, China's stockpiling reflects a multi-dimensional strategy that intertwines economic foresight, industrial planning, and geopolitical positioning. Understanding this trend is essential for assessing its global impact. China's stockpiling focuses on three main commodity groups: energy resources, food supplies, and industrial metals. Each category addresses specific economic and strategic needs. Energy resources are the highest priority. Crude oil, natural gas, and other fuels are accumulated to reduce dependence on international markets and buffer against price fluctuations or supply disruptions. Food security is a central concern. China stocks grains, edible oils, and fertilizers, aiming to stabilize domestic prices and secure sufficient supplies for its large population, particularly in times of climate or trade shocks. Industrial metals form the third pillar. Nickel, copper, aluminum, and rare earths are critical for electronics, renewable energy systems, electric vehicles, and defense industries, ensuring China's long-term manufacturing competitiveness. The approach is not limited to physical stockpiles. China invests heavily in storage facilities, logistics networks, and domestic production to maximize efficiency and accessibility of reserves. By diversifying commodities, China ensures resilience across multiple sectors. Energy, food, and metals collectively form a comprehensive buffer against economic and geopolitical uncertainty. Global markets are affected by these purchases, with supply and pricing pressures extending to other countries and industries dependent on these commodities. In summary, China's choice of commodities highlights a balance between immediate domestic needs and strategic planning for the future, securing economic stability and industrial growth. The core motivation behind China's stockpiling is protection from global supply disruptions. Maintaining reserves ensures continued operation of industries even during crises, offering both economic and national security benefits. Energy security is a top priority. China's heavy reliance on imported oil and gas makes uninterrupted supply essential for transportation, manufacturing, and overall economic stability. Food security drives accumulation of grains, edible oils, and fertilizers. With a population exceeding 1 billion, ensuring sufficient food supply is a strategic necessity to prevent domestic shortages and maintain social stability. Industrial and technological development motivates stockpiling of metals, nickel, copper, aluminum, and rare earths are vital for electronics, renewable energy, defense, and infrastructure, helping China maintain its competitive edge globally. Geopolitical considerations also influence stockpiling. Controlling critical reserves provides leverage in trade negotiations and international diplomacy, allowing China to mitigate potential external pressures, such as sanctions or political conflicts. Economic stability benefits from strategic reserves. By managing domestic supply, China can limit price volatility, protect industries, and maintain affordable prices for consumers. Timing plays a role as well. China often increases purchases when global prices are low, reducing costs while expanding reserves. Overall, the strategy blends defensive and proactive measures, integrating energy, food, industrial, and geopolitical concerns into a cohesive plan for national resilience. China's stockpiling strategy reshapes global supply, pricing, and trade dynamics. Large reserves give the country influence over international markets, potentially creating competition for other commodity-dependent nations. International prices can rise due to supply constraints, impacting industries and consumers in other countries. Global supply chains may need to adapt to China's procurement patterns, affecting manufacturing and trade. Geopolitically, reserves provide leverage. Countries dependent on Chinese exports of energy, metals, or food may consider China's stockpile when negotiating trade deals or forming alliances. Stockpiling also serves as a hedge against global uncertainty. Access to reserves reduces vulnerability to conflicts, sanctions, or natural disasters, providing China with strategic independence. Other nations may respond by building their own reserves or diversifying supply chains, leading to increased global competition for resources and stronger emphasis on self-reliance. Domestically, China can stabilize markets, control prices, and protect consumers and industries from shocks. This contributes to social and economic stability. Investors and policymakers closely monitor stockpiling trends as they influence commodity futures, trade flows, and strategic economic decisions worldwide. Overall, China's strategy has far-reaching geopolitical and economic effects, strengthening domestic stability while altering global resource competition and strategic interactions. In the short term, China uses stockpiling to stabilize domestic supply and prevent sudden price spikes in energy, food, and metals. This ensures uninterrupted operations in industry, transportation, and essential services. Energy reserves help manage global oil and gas fluctuations, protecting the economy from sudden fuel price increases and reducing dependence on imports. Food reserves support domestic stability. Stockpiled grains, oils, and fertilizers prevent shortages and keep prices affordable for the population. Addressing immediate security concerns. Industrial metals are essential for manufacturing continuity. Copper, nickel, aluminum, and rare earths ensure electronics, construction, and energy projects remain uninterrupted. Long-term goals focus on strategic independence. Reserves allow China to respond to global crises, political conflicts, or supply chain disruptions without immediate reliance on external sources. Technological and industrial competitiveness motivates long-term stockpiling. Access to critical metals ensures China can lead in renewable energy, electric vehicles, and advanced manufacturing. Timing and market strategy are crucial. China acquires commodities when prices are low, maximizing cost efficiency while expanding strategic reserves. Infrastructure investments, including storage and logistics networks, support both short-term and long-term goals, enabling a flexible and resilient approach to national security and industrial planning. China's stockpiling strategy reflects a blend of economic foresight, industrial security, and strategic planning. Energy, food, and metals reserves strengthen resilience against global uncertainties and supply disruptions. Domestic stability is enhanced through large reserves, ensuring consistent prices and uninterrupted supply chains, supporting industries and social order. Global economic impacts are significant. China's purchases influence commodity availability, pricing, and trade patterns, creating competition and shaping international markets. Geopolitically, stockpiling provides leverage. Control over critical resources strengthens China's position in negotiations, alliances, and policy discussions. Industrial competitiveness benefits from secured access to metals and strategic materials. Maintaining leadership in technology, renewable energy, and manufacturing. Future trends suggest continued investment in storage, production, and supply chain infrastructure, aligning with national priorities and global economic shifts. Other countries may respond by building reserves, diversifying suppliers, or forming new trade alliances, intensifying global resource competition. Ultimately, China's dual approach, defensive preparation and proactive advantage, positions the country to manage uncertainties while influencing global markets, diplomacy, and industrial development, shaping the future of resource management worldwide.